It's a very weird thing to be playing with Jesse, one of the best, if not the best IO support I've ever seen. Being a huge IO lover myself, and now having Ana ask for IO, it is so bizarre, but I love it. I love it.
So ladies and gentlemen, in TI7, we get to see or witness Liquid GH's IO. The IO is a support hero, a provider, a hero that heals his tethered target, gives them a burst of attack speed, it slows down enemies while being around the tether. Oh yeah, and it can also relocate, pretty much teleport a tethered ally to any position in the game. It can be used as a save or as an offensive method. That's pretty much what the hero was and all about. But ladies and gentlemen, something would change as time would progress. You see, in the 8 years of Dota international scene, we have never witnessed what we have just seen. A shift of the hero's role. From being just a supporter or provider, it ultimately becomes an attacker, an aggressive person. This IO shifts into the role of a carry. Now, what other better team to do this or introduce this is other than your TI champion from last year, from TI8. It's the soon-to-be back-to-back champions, Team OG. So ladies and gentlemen, Crystalis Chronicle in this episode will introduce to the birth of Io the Carry WISP. How he ultimately becomes an unstoppable carry for Team OG. How it becomes the backbone. How it becomes the defining, iconic hero of the International of 2019. How it defines the chaotic playstyle of Team OG. So let's get started. This is Crystalis Chronicle. So right from the beginning, let's just imagine you win the International of 2018 and you're forced to play more Dota. But you being OG.Ana, you want to take a break. You have no motivation anymore. You just won the biggest tournament of your sport. Why else should you play anymore? What is your reasoning? So what you do is that you take a vacation. You go back home to Australia, away from your TI champion friends, away from everyone else. You go home to your family and friends. Now, Ana, being the clever young boy that he is, he decides to play some Dota with his 3K MMR friends. And while playing 3K MMR, he decides to do something that no one else does. Something very OG-like, something very, very insane, something that Notel truly, truly loves. He decides to make iocarry a strategy. He decides to have his team, his 3K MMR pub friends, try this hero. And Lord behold, surprisingly, it starts to work. Ana playing Io as a carry works. It takes over the game. It wins in a way that's unimaginable. Now, the story goes on. In fact, Notel spoke to Ana and said, hey, what do you have been working on? And Ana says, hey, I like this hero as a core. I like it as my pick. I want to pick this as a position 1 player. Ladies and gentlemen, take 1 minute and think about it. This is a moment where we have to think. A support hero that won TI7, a support hero that always provided help for its tethered target. From the 8 years before this moment, it was a support. So what is going on?
It's a very weird thing to be playing with Jesse, one of the best, if not the best IO support I've ever seen. Being a huge IO lover myself, and now having Ana ask for IO, it is so bizarre, but I love it. I love it.
In this interview, we notice something very special. You notice the smile, of course, that comes from Notel. But you also see his true belief in Ana and his IO carry strategy. He has total belief in him. If that's what you want to play, if that's the style you want to play, we, Team OG, your friends, we will stand tall right by you. We have the utmost faith in you. And guess what Ana does? He performs. He not only performs, he shows love back. You see, in the next interview question, they ask, Ana, you are a god. You are known as a god of all gods.
And also, there's fans right now calling you the god of Dota. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess we could rephrase that to our team is really good and we're all gods. Yeah, I don't know.
我觉得你可以把我们当成一个团队的事情吧，所以我们都是神。
But Ana replies and says, I'm not just a god by myself. We are all gods. We all are gods in our own roles. He shows love right back. Now this goes back to the moment of understanding Notel and Team OG. They have the utmost belief in Ana. As Ana goes up, so does OG. As Ana goes down, takes a break, so does OG. They live by Ana. They ride or die by Ana. So the first time we witnessed this apparently 3K MMR strat in the big stages of TI is in the group stages, in the preliminary stages. This is when the teams are feeling each other's out. This is when the teams are introducing new strategies and seeing if they work. It's like experimentation time. So this is very, very important to see the actual game itself. But I'm gonna explain it as best as I can, as quickly as I can. From the get-go, we have the analysts BSJ, Kyle, and Grant as casters. Now, the interesting part about this draft is no one knows what's going on, no one knows the meta. No one knows this 3K MMR strat by OG, which is just coming into existence. This is like the real creation at its finest.
Is it just, even Infamous isn't wearing that, they like carry.
Whoa, what the? What is happening? Is this a carry axe?
Have we, dude, I'm ready.
I want carry axe so bad.
Oh, they're doing something.
What is it, Kyle?
4-2.
Okay.
So right in the beginning, you notice that the panel has no clue what IO is going to do. Is it going to be a support? Is it going to be a position 3? Who's playing this hero? As soon as the draft comes out and the names go on the heroes, you can notice the reactions yet again.
See that it's Jarex is going to be the
Okay, so I'm already wrong.
Seb on X.
Ana Io? No tail. All right.
What the hell?
It's an Ana. Okay, I got.
Carry
Well, I got
Io.
one out of.
It's an epic moment right there in itself because this is the first time seeing a carry position 1 player playing a support hero, a typical support hero as a core. Now, this is mind-boggling. No one understands what's going on. No one does at this moment.
Tail. All right.
What the hell?
It's an Ana. Okay, I got.
Carry
Well, I got
Io.
one out of.
Oh, Peter, gotta be careful. There's just an ulti. 33 misses the stun as well, and all of a sudden, there's a root on the backside on Fada as well. Peter is still alive, tops, and he might be getting a little overly aggressive. Ana's here now. No, he's not. They're gonna get a tower plus a kill. It's still a 7K lead, but you just feel
They're so
getting crazy.
fast, too.
Whoa.
There's 600 move speed
Oh
on both
my
heroes.
They can't do anything. They're just running everyone down. 30, he's dead.
This is so cloudy, man. This is like a 4K party
This
queue
is
game.
no.
where you
This
just
is an
go-
OG draft.
Eventually, the game ends with a funny reaction from the panel. You can tell that even the panelists are just laughing and joking because it's really a clown show and it's just working. The carry core IO WISP strategy was working with such typical OG style of play.
Ace has to run away. He just dives to the orb. It's too much. The Ana IO.
Look at this.
They're just going into there. They can't do anything. They're all just spraying. What can you do? Give someone a rampage? I don't think they can. They're going into the fountain. They're waiting for NIP to call GG, but they won't. And look at this. They go in. Ana with a triple kill. Ana with an ultra kill. There's a Sand King. Where is he? They know. The IO doesn't have ulti to come get him, though. Looks like they're just going to end the game here. There's the GG's call. And a treat of a game.
So something that we can realize from this game alone is that you have to think really strategically about this hero. Like there's something unique about it. So when you play a position 1, you're usually going for a very strong carry role player. Basically, you want to take over the game. You're so strong that you shift the balance of the game. When you're active, when you're online, like something like a Morphling. When you have your Lincoln Sphere, you want to start fighting, right? When you have the E-Blade, let's start killing people instantly, like Shotgun. But the way the carry IO works, it's very unique. It's very special, it's different. Because you're previously inclined to believe that it's just a support hero, right? So when you see it as a position 1, you're confused, you're baffled. But then you don't understand the mystery that comes with it. This IO itself is a whole package of Pandora's box. And you don't know what you're dealing with. When you let the draft appear, when you let OG pick it, you literally unleash the Pandora's box. So in game 1, we see that as soon as io'Ana, the Carry WISP, gets his Aghanim Scepter, despite all the losses they took early in the game, it doesn't matter. It's all completely mitigated. This means that the entire shift of the game changes. He becomes a true position 1 because he ultimately changes the momentum of the game. Everything changes. Suddenly, it's OG that's on the attack. The whole time they were playing defense, kind of scared, but all of a sudden, there's such a boost in the game. That boost itself is the iconic moment, the power of IO. From game 1, we witnessed this. And only the legendary drafters, maybe the Chinese, realized at that moment. Perhaps the Chinese realized at that very moment that this hero, it's deadly. This is a very poisonous snake and we should not come near it. But perhaps they didn't. Perhaps they just didn't know either. No one knew what this was about. But this was the iconic moment. This was the moment that OG gave birth or life to iocarry and showed the potential power it has. Now, later on, we would see what would happen, how it really would evolve, how Io would have attained different types of roles, what it would do in the early games, and how it continuously shift the power of the game. Just like a true position 1 or carry role player. That's what he does. So from the first series, OG versus NIP, we also get to see level 25 Io at its maximum power. This is when OG.Ana on Wisp gets level 25. The ability that he attains is a natural ability that you get to pick. When you're level 25 and you tether to your ally, whoever the ally is attacking, Io is also attacking. Just as fast, just as quick. So if Thompson, his tethered 1-2 punch, is attacking a tower, so is Ana.
Tether the Wind Ranger.
Let's go.
He's gonna, wait, level 25 talent, he will attack everything that his tether target attacks.
Get ready. They're just going to end it. They can end it because
They
of
can?
that. Look at this. Dude, and this is backdoor protection, by the way. This is backdoor protection.
I guarantee they're doing this on purpose. They're like, guys, don't even get the creep wave.
Yep, I love Peter. He knows. He's like, wait, this game's probably over, but what can we do? Still backdoor protection. They are just melting it.
Another thing you want to take into consideration is how the meta is created at this moment. You can notice that slowly but surely the death ball lineup is coming into play. You can also notice that the 1-2 punch must be completely synchronized. That Thompson and Ana must pick heroes that work very well together. That's one of the most important parts of this year's patterns. So just think about it. What other hero, what other core player can utilize this meta to the max? There's none. The Io, when he's tethered to another position 2 player, like a gyrocopter, a bristleback, any other hero, that makes them the biggest threat in the entire game. Just think about it. The meta is having a position 1 and a position 2 player play together as one. That's the meta. That is the pattern that OG have created. So Io is the best in combination with another core. But now when he has an Agnum Scepter, and then when he has level 25 talent, he becomes a pure attacker. And the damage is just amplified to the next level. This is what OG have given birth to. This is their Frankenstein. So one interesting part we see at level 25 is going against backdoor protection. This is a very iconic moment. OG at this moment, they're still experimenting and they're pretty much showing the world their hands, saying, hey, we can go against backdoor protection, which by the way was made to protect rat gaming, like a Nature's Prophet going into the base and killing the towers. But OG experiment using Wind Ranger's ulti on a tier 4, and then Io level 25 attacking as well. You can notice that they take down this tower despite the backdoor protection. This goes to show how deadly and threatening this hero really is. So from the NIP series, we notice that from mid to late game, Ana on Io is extremely potent. It's very dangerous. And that is something that you do not allow. Perhaps if you really think about it deep enough, this game alone, NIP versus OG game, it is a foreshadowing of the entire international. Even try to understand the analysts, the casters speaking, you notice that OG have taken over everything.
Ace has to run away. He just dives to the orb. It's too much. The Ana IO.
Look at this.
They're just going into there. They can't do anything. They're all just spraying. What can you do? Give someone a rampage? I don't think they can. They're going into the fountain. They're waiting for NIP to call GG, but they won't. And look at this. They go in. Ana with a triple kill. Ana with an ultra kill. There's a Sand King. Where is he? They know. The IO doesn't have ulti to come get him, though. It looks like they're just going to end the game here. And there's the GG's called. And a treat of a game.
The casters have no clue what they're doing. The world has no clue what they're doing. But yet we're in awe. We're just starstruck. We're looking at what they do, what they're inventing, how they're implementing their own Frankenstein into Dota, and how they eventually break Dota open. Team OG have taken over everything just based on this one game alone if you really look deep enough. Even later on, Crystalis will look at Team Newbie versus OG when IO comes out again, and the final game. We will look at it a little later. But this episode, it just looks at the backbone, the beginning, the birth of Carry, the IO WISP. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button for more epic content just like this.
Right, it's really great. And can you tell us why we are so good? And yeah.
why am I so good? I mean, what is it? I mean, I don't really know why. I just play.
And also, there's fans right now calling you the god of Dota. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess we could rephrase that to our team is really good and we're all gods. Yeah. I don't know.
我觉得你可以把我们当成一个团队的事情吧，所以我们都是神。